Week 3 of our time together these Sundays. I hope you've appreciated these videos, and I hope you feel free to use them and share them. I really want them to be an encouragement. I've been through quite a lot, as you have in 2018. I'm 50 years old, and there's a lot that's gone into those 50 years. And I want to mine, like somebody who's mining for gold. I want to mine the first 50 so that the next 50 is rich, not just for me, but for you. I woke up one morning and I was on the front page of the newspaper, and they were saying not nice things. And I had a little moment with Jesus, okay? And the moment was, I felt part of what I was supposed to teach, part of what I was supposed to mine from my life, the gold I was supposed to pull from my bad experiences to give to you, was this idea about, in 2018, we're going to have to learn how to be sweet in bitter times. Because I think, I'm not a prophet, but I think it's going to keep being bitter out there. I don't get up in the morning wishing the world would get better. I get up in the morning knowing I'm going to have to get better because it may get more bitter. And this is I think the posture of every believer. We feel like victims when we get up in the morning and we go, how come those people don't change? And how come that place out there isn't being nice to me? And how come they're not telling the truth? Or how come those people are cursing me when I bless them? You might have all of those thoughts. But you got to get up in the morning and say, I can't just wish that it was better. I'm going to have to make sure I'm stronger. I'm going to have to stay sweet. I'm going to have to decide what's going on in here, because I can't get to decide. No one lets us decide what's going on out there. And it starts with a word that you're not going to expect. It's the word humble. Humble. Jesus humbled himself. The Bible gives us direction through Peter in his book. He says, humble yourselves before the Lord. Don't wait for them to humble us. We should humble ourselves. And to be humble, the word humble means to be of the dirt. Dirt is low, to be low. I know that doesn't sound attractive, like nobody wants to be low, but I'll tell you, before anything goes up, big skyscrapers, the tallest buildings in the world, and I've been in the tallest building in the world, okay? It goes up and it goes up and it goes up, but before you go up, you got to go down. In fact, you got to go down commensurate with how high you want to go up. If you're going to go 100 stories up, you're not going to go 10 inches down. You got to be of the dirt and go down, 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 down. It's called a foundation. Let this month, let the bitter around you remind you to be humble, to be low, to be teachable. Say sorry when you have to say sorry. And start out by just building a great foundation for 2018. You're not going to live all 12 months at once. You're doing them one day at a time. So why not be okay being low and just say, while I'm down here, I'm going to build a great foundation. It starts with the people closest to us. When I was on the front page of the paper reading these horrible things about myself, my wife said to me one day, she looked at me and she said, do you suppose people know how happy this home is? Like, I'm getting crucified in the newspaper, and the woman I've been married to for 30 years says, do you think people know how happy, how peaceful this home is? You can have a peaceful home in the middle of a storm going on outside. I don't know if you know that. You might know it in theory, but you've never seen it, because when your circumstances are so powerful if you're tethered to them, but you don't have to be tethered to them. You can watch it happen. I used to tell people all the time, I feel like life is like a big high school dance, lots of pressure to get in the middle. And when you're in the middle, you think everybody's watching you and you're self-conscious about doing all that. But then there's a balcony above the dance. And if you go upstairs and you become an observer, you can see that a few people are dancing. Everybody's having a good time. And there's a lot of people around the edges that are left out. And when you get up above, you can see what's really going on. You're not bumping into each other, and you're not like in the heat of the moment. Be an observer in your life every once in a while. And here we are, it's still January, right? It's not too late to redeem some goals and aspirations you have for the year. Be an observer now. Watch what happened before. Watch what's going on now so that you can live above it, not always in it. Sometimes you can't afford it. You're in it. Other people threw you in it. Your mistakes put you in it. Your decisions put you in it, whatever. But you can get above. And you get above by doing things like praying. I know a lot of people set goals, but I don't know a ton of people that pray over goals. I don't know a ton of people who get up in the morning and say, what would you have for me today, Jesus? This is a conversation I have with myself. On my worst days, I found the habit of asking Jesus, what would you have for me today? Just try it. Why not? Why not? You don't even have to be a Christian. You don't have to be a religious person to do what I'm talking about. Everybody has the programming to talk to God. You right where you're at, you could be an atheist and you could talk to him right now. Just say, Jesus, I don't even know if you're listening to me. Do you know how many miracles I've heard that started with that sentence? Jesus, I don't even know if you're listening to me. Help me in my low place. Help me in my addiction. Help me in my sadness. Help me with my enemies. Help me with my friends. Help me with my family. I can tell you I've got a wife and 2 kids, and this is the best time of my life. Best time of their life. I didn't say it was a perfect time of life. I didn't say I wouldn't change things if I could rather. But I said it's the best time, because when you're low, you get to dig down, pour a new foundation to go high. Big, grand. You can live a grand life. Don't give up on it. I know not all of you are 20 years old. Some of us have had a few more tread off of the tire. But I'm telling you what, that experience can be mined for gold. I know I'm throwing in a bunch of different metaphors. I hope you're smart enough to pick them up. Listen, today, that's all we got. Let's be sweet in a bitter culture, particularly, if I may say, as a critique to my brothers and sisters in Jesus. There are lots of people with a Christian label who have not even endeavored to try to be sweet in a bitter world. When they go low, we go low. When they start swinging, we swing back. You might have heard a lot of things about me, but you've never seen me fire back. I don't fire back at enemies. I let God do that for me. This is my practice. This is what I've tried to model for my friends. Use it for yourself. Try to be sweet in a bitter world. Just because someone punches doesn't mean we punch back. We gotta be sweet. We say, Jesus, what would you have me do today? Jesus was silent a lot and under accusation. Didn't say a lot. Didn't defend himself. He had a purpose that was bigger than what was in front of him. Let that be said of you today. Happy New Year. Let's do this thing together, you and me. Not my city, your city, our city. Not my problem or your problem, our problems. Not my dream or your dream, our dream. We're in it together. Our city, our community, our church. Together. Jesus people, not Jesus people. All of us coming together to talk about how we can be more like Jesus. Blessings.